Hello, welcome to the Lately in PHP podcast. This is episode 71, and as always, I have here with me Arthur Sozins with a new haircut. Right? Hello, Arthur.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was getting too warm here, so needed a change.
Oh, really? Over here is getting closer. As you can see, now I'm wearing a jacket, and that's the nature working. But last month was very hot, which is a bit unusual for this time of the year. But we are here to talk about PHP. Yeah, very hot or very cold?
It's now really hot. It's never been so hot in May.
Oh, okay. So I guess the heat was transferred over there, but over here is colder, so it's pleasant. Now we can record this podcast about PHP. We have many RFCs to talk about this month, but as usual, we're going to start just with a brief review of the topics, just to give to long year of this hangout. We are going to start about commenting just the latest versions that were published recently of PHP. Then we start commenting several RFCs. Many of them are related. First, we started talking about the square bracket syntax for they call it array destruction assignment, but it is for the list operator. And then we have a proposal to avoid session IDs to be generated with hashing, to not expose the random number generator details, which is a security. Then we start talking about several RFCs that are very related. One is about union types, which are basically types that could be accepted as alternative for function parameters. So for instance, function parameters could have multiple possible types to be accepted, not just one, like it is now with type hinting. Then the intersection types is very similar, but is to require that a certain parameter have like I would say implements several interfaces. So it would be maybe a class of an object that implements multiple interfaces, not just one. Have a discussion here about nullable types. Type hinting defines that you can have, you should have a parameter, for instance, type, but null could also be accepted, which is a very frequent requirement that I've been seeing. Request people. There is another proposal, nullable return type, which is for return values to be allowed to be null, even when there is type hinting. Then there is a discussion about properties. Classes already have final functions, but do not have final variables. So the idea is to also have final variables. This was not implemented since the beginning, but okay. Then there is the RFC for callable types, which are basically allowing to define that the type for a parameter should be callable. Then we have functional interfaces, basically interfaces that could be defined for functions, not classes, just global functions. Then there is something more, I would say, harder to explain, but it's basically about passing certain values to be assigned to objects, private properties on the constructor. They call it lexical scope support for anonymous classes. So even if you don't have a class, you could assign private properties on the object creation. And then there is a proposal here to perform a certain optimization when the PHP engine starts, the Zen engine starts, by sort of generating a snapshot or a cache for the initial state of the Zen engine when it loads. So next time when it runs, it could save the bit of starting the Zen engine. Then there is a proposal to have opcache get and set functions like there is for APC. So op placement for opcache. But it did not implement get and set properties that would be cached in shared memory. So there is this proposal. Then we have a proposal to implement a character set detector for text that guesses the character set that is being used for text. Then, man, this is long. There is a proposal to forbid this to be assigned to null in instance methods. I think that's the interpretation of this. There is a proposal to have what they call attributes, but in practice this could also be called annotations. So it's a new proposal. Then there is the pipe operator, which is to chain multiple function calls, but to not have to return this because this can be on non-objects. That's what I understood from this. And then finally, we have just to comment an article about many new features interesting for authors, like the new elephant prize that is also being given as possible prize for the Innovation Award. And we are actually going to show you a sample of the new elephant that is basically the same, but it now has a stripe that is personalized with the author name. So with this, we conclude the introduction, which promises to be long because we have so many topics to cover. So we're going to start right away back to the versions, latest versions of PHP. We have like PHP 5.535, 5.621, and 7.06. As you know,
Can you share the screen?
Oh, didn't I share the screen? I thought I stopped sharing and then. Okay. So 5.535 as like the usual security bug fix, right? And then 5.6 as a few more than just security fixes, and 7.0 as even more because those are fixes related with PHP 7.0 version. Many bug fixes. This is what I expect in the first releases, and I hope that in the next releases there won't be so much bugs to fix because it will be getting stabilized. So that's basically what we can say about these new versions. I did not notice anything special. Arthur, did you get anything special about these new versions?
Oh, I have not seen any changes that would be too breakable to break some standard behaviors and stuff. Basically, lots of different situations and configuration fixes and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I got from here. So we are going to move on to the first RFC of many that we have to comment this month. I don't know what happened, but in April has been very productive in terms of proposals. So let me share the screen here. So the first proposal is basically to be able to use the list operator to define values that will be extracted from an array or some an iterator or something. And now the proposal is that to allow this syntax here, that given this array parameter, for instance, the first variable, which is a, will be assigned to the array n, right? That's what I got from here.
I think no, that's I think that value from the key A will be assigned to variable A.
Yeah, and because before it would be assigned by the order, to,
yes,
a numeric order of the parameters. So this is a associative array version of the list operator. I never have need. I don't use much the list operator, but okay, I understand that it's useful, and for people that are using it, I understand why they want to use this. So it's for PHP 7.1, which was already proposed, approved with unanimity. So the next proposal is a bit, I think, related with security, which is to generate session IDs, which tend to be random or look like random, and but they are saying to not use hashing to generate these values because it could the PHP random number generator state it probably could make it easier to generate some exploits. I'm not a security expert, so I'm trying to interpret this. I'm not sure if I've got it right. Arthur, what did you get from this?
Yeah, and that instead of using a hash, they would use a PHP random byte function to generate it, which also seems to be as a bonus running twice as faster than the hashing. But interesting that they were supposed to vote on it on April, but the poll has been closed and there were no votes, so I have no idea why is that.
Yes, I did not follow the discussions, but I can see that well, did no vote happen?
Probably, yeah.
Maybe they are still discussing. I did not follow the actual discussion topics to cover this month. I didn't have time. So we are going to move on to comment a series of RFCs. All of them are related with the type hinting. So let's cover them briefly and try to relate them just then what is being discussed. So union types is to allow that a type of a value, a parameter, for instance, could be of two possible types, two or more possible types, using the pipe operator. So this could be an array, it could be traversable. Actually, traversable is probably an interface. So It could be either one or the other. So the intersection types is similar, but requires that, for instance, a parameter be has to implement two possible interfaces, like here, countable and traversable. And then nullable types is all that function parameters, for instance, in this case, return values, as you see in the example, can also be null. In this case, it should be integer or null.
So any type can be null if the function has nothing to return, for example.
Well, I think you have to explicitly return null. I'm not sure. And this was already voted.
This proposes exactly proposes that you can have, at least as I see from the examples, you define some returnable type, but you still can return null.
Yes. Now that also, let me check. I didn't check. This the intersection was not yet voted, and the union was not. The union was also not voted. It's interesting to comment. Nullable return type declaration seems to be a similar one, right?
Yeah, here you specifically define null as a separate type.
Yeah, but this one was not even implemented, so there was no vote even started. And this is just to cover several RFCs that are related, and they sort of complement what was defined for PHP 7 strict type hinting. So this is to address pending needs that many people had, and I think it is interesting, useful for people that are making intensive use of type hinting. So they are really taking the most out of PHP 7. So the next topic that we're going to cover also has to do with variables, but not types. Let me share the screen again. Oh, in this case, they have
final properties,
right? Basically, so it is like the final attribute for functions that but apply to variables.
Basically, when you assign the value to this variable, you can't change it anymore. So theoretically, you don't need getters for the class. You just can make the properties public and access them directly, because no one will be able to change it. Of course, I don't know what happens when you try to change it. Probably it should come up with some error or warning, but I think that would come in RFC later on.
Yes, this is basically to make it more like Java. If you extend this class, you cannot redefine this variable, because it's final. Okay, so moving on, the next topic. Oh, it's still related with type hinting. I should have grouped with the other one. This case is about callable types. For instance, function arguments that take a callable parameter. Now, the idea is to have a callable definition, so you can pass a function, a closure, or a function, a callback function, with several weird ways that PHP has, like defining an array with an object and the name of a parameter, a function argument. And the idea is to allow the type hinting for callable. So this will make it PHP more complete in terms of type hinting.
True.
So the idea is to close that gap. So moving on with the next proposal, the idea here is to implement interfaces for functions. This is a bit weird because interfaces are to implement a series of functions that you could have on classes. That's the traditional definition of interfaces. But over here, I'm not sure what this means. Oh, I see. The idea is you can have an anonymous function, and you declare that it should implement an interface, and that that interface is defined somewhere, and you can have type hinting there.
Or else you would need to create a class which implements something and assign value and do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Lots of writing.
Okay, I see the point. So I never have. These people have so I would say advanced needs that.
Yeah, true.
I'm having even a hard time to is for this, but okay. This is interesting. I wonder if they can still apply it to functions in classes as they propose here. So it will not be just anonymous functions out of nowhere.
And about use case, again, when we have a more stricter typing in PHP and have we can define that this function only accepts other functions from this specific interface. So we can easily define an anonymous method and pass to this function and stuff like that. So when you add strict typing, it all adds up, and it has lots of additional requirements, as we see now.
Yeah, well, I can see. I can see the application. Just not sure if it is that useful. But okay, PHP has many features now that I do not use. It doesn't mean it is wrong, because I'm just one user of PHP, and there are millions out there that have other needs. So it is okay. So I can understand this. So moving on to the next proposal. Yet another proposal or something that I'm not sure when in this, but the idea is they call it lexical scope support for anonymous classes. So we can define an anonymous class, and then you can use this use statement to assign
automatically define constructor which accepts this argument and creates a property with the same name.
Yes, so class, so it's the shortcut for this code would expand to this code. That's what I got. Okay, it seems people want to type less and less, and I can see the purpose, or just not sure if for every other user this will make the code readable, because when they take a look at this, what does this do?
Yeah.
Okay. True. Yeah, but okay. I understand the purpose. So the next topic is one more related with optimization. This is not really trivial to understand, but basically is to copy a feature of the V8 engine, which
I think we also commented on some previous with the JavaScript podcasts about having these snapshots that optimize the boot of the app.
Really, I'm not. I do not remember that part, but okay. Yeah, but the snapshot would be, they call it startup snapshot, means that the runtime engine would be started, as some initialization would appear, and that would take some time. So the snapshot would allow to like run some code that would be like bootstrapping, like auto-loading, and you'd define what would be that code, and every script that you run using this startup snapshot would already have everything initialized. So it's not just the PHP engine, it would be also like, for instance, classes that would be already loaded. It's interesting because it would probably get a great speed enhancement.
Yeah, especially as PHP is run, PHP script is run on every request, so it really could provide a boost that you don't need to read file, you don't need to parse it, you already have the start state in the memory, and you can ready to use this snapshot.
Yes, I think this is great because PHP tends to spend a lot of time doing the same things at the beginning of each script. Depends on your application, but for instance, if you have your autoloader to initialize a bunch of
dependencies, whether you're using them or not this time.
Yeah, well, when you define autoloader, you do not necessarily load the classes, but you need to initialize, for instance, a big array of classes that are mapped to class files. And if you have, and probably this array will start having its weight on PHP performance just for the startup. And this is probably very concerning for people that use frameworks or large libraries of classes that loads lots of files, or may or not load lots of files, but need the autoloader to be aware of where are each of the class files that it needs to load. So I think this proposal makes sense. For now, it is just a proposal. I did not follow the whole discussion, so I don't know if there is an RFC already. But if there is an RFC, we can comment on it next month. So the next proposal is to have get and set functions for the opcache extension. As you may know, the opcache extension was introduced in PHP 5.5. Is to have a built-in opcode cache in PHP from the start. There was APC, there was also the Zen opcode cache, and Zen proposed to adopt this their opcode cache, but APC provided more functionality besides opcode caching, like caching values using these get and set functions. So the idea is to add these functions missing in opcache.
So every user can use it.
I think it's to basically make APC obsolete, because if opcode cache provides all this functionality, APC will no longer be needed, at least for caching variables in shared memory. So that's the proposal. So moving on to the next proposal. This one is a bit tricky, which is to have a more or less reliable character set detector. So you give a string to PHP and it will detect the character set of that string, if it is UTF or something else. There is an implementation of ICU, but the discussion was that implementation is not very good. So the idea is to have a built-in function. I mean, it would be a class, actually, I think. Or not. Let me check here. Yeah. Because they also say the HSVM detect already exposed this feature as encoding detection returns encoding match object. This is interesting because it can be useful for purposes that you need to somehow guess what is the character set being used in a given text. Actually, in PHP classes, sometimes have to import packages that have code like in UTF, but others are like in ISO-Latin, and if there was a reliable function to detect this, the site could detect it automatically. Otherwise, it is an option that authors need to set so their code can render correctly. So this is an interesting proposal. The next proposal is to forbid this being null in instance methods. I don't know when null could be, this could be null. I'm not sure. Maybe if you do it on purpose, not by mistake. I don't recall a situation in which somebody would do it on purpose.
What happens if you access static method through instance, not through class name, or vice versa?
Yes, but I don't think that this is what they're proposing. I'm not sure because let me roll here because I did not see. I do not see any static classes here in the examples. Somebody assigning this to null on purpose or not. No, this is not assigning. Yeah. Okay, I don't know. I don't know a case when that would happen. Do you remember any case?
No.
Other than static?
No. I think only static. If you check backward incompatible changes in the bottom, it would show that checking for this is actually to see if function is called statically or non-statically.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, I see the static part. I missed that part. So what is the proposal after all?
It seems currently it was possible to call statically call non-static methods. I don't know, I have not tried, but it seems it's possible now, and they want to not allow it.
Yeah. Or maybe here, like a function being called.
Passing context, binding context to some function.
Yeah. I think it's like disallowing parameters to be called this. Because this could be null and this would not make sense. Okay, I guess I'm missing the point, but maybe you can get back to it when we have a better idea. So moving on to the next proposal, which is somewhat annotations with a different name. They call it attributes. Yet to define of PHP code outside of code, so we don't have to resort to comments or things like that. And
but why not use more common syntax like Java doc, which is similar to JS doc? And
yes, that's what the people have been using. They've been using PHP doc.
exactly.
Yeah. So, but people want still want to have like in support for.
Yes, but why built-in support could not be in the same syntax that everyone is already using? Why would you need new syntax for annotations or attributes?
I don't know. Maybe because you could use reflection to. Because I think PHP doc comments or other formats are not interpreted by the language. So
Okay.
I also fail to understand if this is something that is really necessary. But okay, the matter is that this topic of having like this kind of things in PHP is old. They've been discussing annotations for years. There, I think the vote is already ended, and it was mostly rejected.
Mm-hmm.
But I do not see the results because it ended on May 10, and I do not see the results.
I think it's not yet closed. It will close on May 24th.
Oh, is the I misread. I read the start date as being the end date.
So they're still voting.
Okay, never mind. Never mind, because I think people are rejected because there are competing, but I did not follow the discussion, so better not comment on something that I'm not aware. So moving on to the one more proposal, which is about the pipe operator. The pipe operator is sort of chaining function calls, but this chaining of function calls, I'm not sure how it works.
Basically, you get output from one function and use it in the, so you get output from the left side and use it in the right side where you place two dollar signs. So you just pass value there.
So this would work even for non-method calls, non-object calls.
I think it's more from a Linux command line pipe operator, so it will work the same way. Only you need to mark where to insert that variable as a double dollar sign.
Yeah. Okay, I can understand this.
So you don't have to nest all the function calls, like doing a function call inside the function call inside the function call.
Yes. That type of chaining method calls, it would only pass the object to the next object.
Yeah, exactly.
In this case, it's not to chain calls to the same object. It's do something else. Okay. I think it may make sense on a certain purpose. I'm not sure if I remember any use case on any of my developments that I needed this, but I think it makes sense for other people. So now, finally,
I think it could even make more sense for JavaScript, having all that callback hell and stuff.
Probably. Well, it makes sense for JavaScript. It could make sense for PHP. I'm saying. Well, you mean asynchronous programming with callback?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So the next topic is just to mention about an article that I published about a bunch of new features that are being that were launched on PHP classes site and also JS classes site. To address needs of several developers in the latest weeks, months, probably 2 or 3 months. I've been listening to many authors. They have been complaining about some limitations, things that would make it hard to submit their packages or give them more work than necessary. So I'll just cover this briefly. Actually, the article, the title is How to Win a Big Elephant Plush Toy Mascot Every Month. That's because there was a small change in the Innovation Award. Now you can also win
pick a prize. Yeah.
You can pick the elephant as one of possible prizes, because there was an author that complained, "No, if I want to get the innovation, the elephant, I need to win the Year Innovation Award. It's very hard. Only one person will win, or the people of the winning country will win." And they asked if I could sell the elephant. Unfortunately, that's not very feasible for me because it's very complicated, especially because shipping many elephants to other countries, I would have to change some status of my company because it's not selling anything. And it would probably also be expensive to ship the peach, because it's big elephant, because it's large, and the shipping costs are not are actually more expensive than the elephant itself. So the idea is that from now on you can pick a prize, the Innovation Award as prize, and actually the first winner that already picked the prize, already picked it. Let me share the screen here, and not only get an elephant, but you'll get a stripe with his name and PHP Innovation Award title, and being the winner of the month.
So in this case, the guy that won the first place chose the elephant, right?
Yes, because it's possible that the guy that won the first place did not pick the prize. It will be hard because I think many people will want it, but maybe the winner already got the elephant and does not want another. And anyway, this is for the PHP classes. And other than that, there were several other enhancements that were implemented. One enhancement that was implemented, it is now Innovation Award winners can download certificates that they have won the Innovation Award in PDF format, so they can, if they want, can put in a frame, can put in the wall, can show to the friends, can brag to others, can do anything they want with that. Just a certification that they won the Innovation Award or nominated, not necessarily being the winners. And that is it. By the way, Arthur, can you show you a certificate that you won?
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
You see?
Can you zoom it? So it's a nice certificate. Let me focus on you.
What was the code in the background?
Sorry?
What is the code in the background?
Oh, I think it's some PHP code. But
yeah, I see that.
This was created by an actual developer that also won the Innovation Award. So we proposed this template for the certificate. Probably a few enhancements to make to fix some issues. There are a small margin at the bottom that should not exist. Some fonts are supposed to be different, but for some reason the web service that was used to generate the PDF did not make those fonts available. But I think the important part is to show that you, as an Innovation Award winner, or even nominee, because nominees also earn these certificates, will get a nice certificate that can exhibit, show to the others, or do whatever you want. Arthur, what are you going to do with your certificates?
I just want to show everyone that you can download them here, because it took me actually quite a while to to find it. But about certificate, first I need to get a colorful printer, and then I'll think about doing something with it.
Well, nowadays color printers are easy. You can even actually convert it into a picture and send to a Photoshop somewhere in your city. They can print it with a good quality. Anyway, by the time we're recording this, the only thing that is missing is that authors will be notified by email or internal messages to let them know that their certificates are ready. So that is just one of the enhancements that were made. There were several other enhancements that were made because people were like complaining, as you may see in this article here. Nowadays, when you have a notable package, you get more exposure because many people get notified about the notable package. And that is interesting because there are also in the site blog, there will be posted new articles telling that a package was considered notable, not necessarily innovative, but notable. There was also a big effort to simplify the package submission, so you can go there and see less instructions, because that was something that you complained in the past, right, Arthur?
Yeah.
That there were long instructions. Those long instructions still exist, but you have to click on a link to expand the page and see those long instructions. Also, many of the package submission pages are responsive because for some unexpected reasons, some people want to do it from their mobile phones. And well, I thought, well, but for file uploading, you are not going to upload files from your mobile phone. But if you want to import from some Git repository, GitHub or somewhere, you are going to you are able to do it from your mobile phone. And so now all the pages are responsive, so you can do that. Also, the import process of package files is simplified, so we do not have to guess the file roles. I mean, the site tries to guess the file roles, analyzing the contents of the file. So if it is a class, already as a class. So if you have packages with many files, you will not have the burden to set the roles as before, or even the descriptions. And that happens more with Git because Git does not have descriptions for files. Other than that, there is now the possibility in the pages of your packages. There is now you can tell our users, your users, what is the page where they should go to collaborate. So if you have a project in GitHub and you want them to go there to submit bug features and requests, you can add that in when you add your repository to your package. So they can go there if you want. That's optional. Other than that, there is now a new process to pre-approve packages. So if you submit a package, I'll just review it very quickly and pre-approve them. I mean, later I probably will edit the description to make it more accurate, more relevant to the users. But now we don't have to wait like weeks for packages to be pre-approved. Usually it is just 1 day or so. And finally, the issue of the certificates that I have mentioned for past and future innovation award nominated packages. So I think all these features are interesting. Arthur, what do you think? Anything that is being missed to make it somehow better, or are you satisfied? Are you more motivated to submit more packages with these new features?
Actually, I really like the idea about more collaboration and providing Git repository links. I hope that would allow other users to more involved in some projects, because mostly I only have requests for add this feature to this class or fix this bug. But if I provide the repository, maybe someone could already fix it themselves and submit a fix to me.
Yes. Now, when you submit a package from a repository, you can have a field that says collaboration page. And well, if you are importing for GitHub, it will fill this field automatically. So, and then the link will appear in your package page, like collaborate with this product.
For now, for me, this seems to be the most important feature. So we'll see how it will turn out.
Yes. It's not a guarantee that you'll get many collaborators, but at least you have provided them information on how to collaborate. And okay, anything else that you liked or you feel that is missing?
About missing, it's hard to say. We talk about features so much that I'm already lost track of it. But other than that, yeah, certificates also seem kind of nice. Would there be a specific certificate for the winners of the year innovation, which is not class package specific, but in general, because it will be more scarce and more interesting probably?
Yes, the idea is to implement it, but right now I have not developed that part, because at the time we were recording, I still have to finish the notification of the packages. So if all goes well, I'll plan to implement that next weeks or months, because it's, I know that you won in the past. You want to get the certificate for the past, but I'll have to spend some time working on that certificate. Maybe probably just use the same template, but adapting some words, right? Or do you think it should be different somehow?
No, probably the same template would be fine, just adapting words to the year and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, with this, practically in this long podcast about many PHP proposals and enhancements. And on my behalf, that is all for now. Bye.
Bye.